Hello everybody, I'm still alive. Hopefully you haven't missed me too much. I know you'll have been sad to see the end of Football Romance, but fear not. I'm here to bring you something that will hopefully be much bigger and much better in the shape of the team on tour. So thanks a lot for joining me for this first ever edition of the new vlog. Now you might have seen that I've set up a new website, theteamontour.com. If you could head along there, check it out and let me know what you think, that would be great. Although it would be even better if you could subscribe to the Team on Tour on YouTube, as I'm planning to be way more active on there than I was back in the Football Romance days, provided much less important things like actual work don't get in the way too much. So for the first ever episode, I'm currently sitting in Madrid's Golden Triangle of Art, which is home to 3 of Madrid's 40+ museums. Now all 3 of them are located on and around the PASEO del Prado, which is one of the main avenues in the city centre. It runs from north to south, finishing away down at Atocha train station, which is the main train station in the Spanish capital. Just across the road from the station, you've got the Reina Sofia Museum, named after Queen Sofia, the wife of the former King of Spain, Juan Carlos, who abdicated back in 2014. Now, it's built on the site of Madrid's first ever general hospital. It was shut down as a hospital back in 1969 and opened again as a museum in 1992. So it's actually one of the biggest contemporary art museums in the world. It features mostly the work of Spanish artists, including the famous Guernica painted by Pablo Picasso. If you're wanting to head along there, don't go on Tuesdays because it's shut, but you can get in for free on Sunday afternoon between 1:30 and 7, and it's also free the other days of the week between 7 and 9 in the evening. Head north along the Paseo del Prado, and on your right hand side you'll come to the Prado Museum, opened in 1819 and generally considered to be one of the world's finest collections of 12th to 19th century European art. Now, Francisco Goya is the most represented artist here, but perhaps the best known work of art is Las Meninas, painted by fellow Spaniard Diego Velázquez. Now, if like me you're not that much of an art connoisseur, you can check that out as well as some of the other most important pieces of art from the comfort of your own living room on Google Earth. Like with the Reina Sofia Museum, there are certain times of the day when it's free to get into the Prado, namely the last 2 hours each day. So from Monday until Saturday, that's from 6 till 8, and on Sunday from 5 until 7. Security is notoriously strict in the Prado, although a few years ago one budding painter managed to take one of his own paintings into the museum, hang it up undetected, and it stayed there for 4 days before anybody even noticed. So if you are a budding painter and you're looking to make it big in the art world, then that might be an idea for you. Head further north and across the road and you'll find the third side of the triangle. That's the Thyssen Museum, which was opened in 1992. Now, it was originally a private collection of works owned by a Swiss family, one of whom married a Spaniard. And although it's still a private museum, it's now got a combination of private and public works. A lot of people consider it to be kind of the final piece of the puzzle, in the sense that it complements and fills in the gaps left by the other 2 museums. So here you'll find work done by kind of renowned European artists, particularly from Germany, Italy and England, and you'll also find plenty of Impressionist and Expressionist work. So if you fancy visiting the Thyssen for free, then you can also do this, although you'll have to be here on Monday to do so. It's free from 12 until 4. In terms of ticket prices, the Prado is the most expensive at €15, followed by the Thyssen at 12 and the Reina Sofia at 8, although you might be able to find cheaper prices if you book online. You can also buy something that's called a Paseo del Arte card, which costs €28 and it entitles you to 1 visit in each of the 3 museums in the space of a year. Of course, there are lots of temporary exhibitions on at each of the 3 museums as well. In fact, the most successful one ever done in Madrid happened very recently, back in 2013. That was a Salvador Dali exhibition at the Reina Sofia. The short walk from the Prado to the Thyssen will take you past La Fuente de Neptuno, Neptune Fountain, one of 2 in central Madrid which have key roles to play in Madrid's footballing culture. Now, in the second half of the 18th century, when neoclassicism was at its peak, the king at the time, King Charles II, King Carlos II, decided that he wanted to modernise Madrid, and inspired by the likes of Paris and St. Petersburg, ordered a number of emblematic monuments to be constructed around the city. So there were 2 fountains designed by architect Ventura Rodriguez, which were completed in the 1780s. First of all, as I mentioned before, La Fuente de Neptuno, named after Neptune, the god of the sea from Roman mythology. And secondly, just up the road, we've got La Fuente de Cibeles, named after Cybele, an Anatolian mother goddess who played a key role in Greek mythology. So up until the 1960s, fans of Atletico went along to their team's former ground, the Estadio Metropolitano, to celebrate whenever their side won a trophy, while the Real Madrid support went along to their team's old stadium, the Estadio Chamartín, or even up to the Santiago Bernabeu to celebrate their team winning some silverware. But things changed in 1985. Atletico won the Copa del Rey against Athletic Bilbao, and their fans celebrated by chucking themselves in the Cibeles fountain, as you do. So in 1986, a group of Real Madrid supporters decided to follow suit, but they weren't in fact celebrating a trophy victory. They were instead celebrating a hat-trick scored by Emilio Butragueño, their star striker at the time, for Spain against Denmark in the World Cup. And they saw it as an opportunity to chant for him to become the next Spanish president, with the presidential elections in the country coming up shortly after the tournament in Mexico. So for a few years, both sets of fans went there to celebrate their team winning trophies, but things changed once again in 1991. So the Atletico won the Copa del Rey, this time against Real Mallorca, but this time about 500 or so of their fans decided to head 450 metres down the road to Neptuno, chanting that the water in Cibeles had been dirtied by the Real Madrid support celebrating there. So Real Madrid's fans continue to go to Cibeles, but Atletico have since moved on and will celebrate triumphs down the road in Neptuno. Now, since I came to Spain in 2009, the two teams have won 17 trophies between them, and with Real Madrid flying high at the top of La Liga and both sides still in the Champions League, I wouldn't bet against there being more celebrating in the city come May. If you've liked what you've seen, please remember to like, comment and share on social media. You can find the team on tour on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, but don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find all of the team on tour's vlog entries. Thanks for watching.